Locking in won't change your life. And for most people, the winter arc is not going to accomplish anything. For 99% of people, they're just going to stay the same. And the reason why I say that is because most people will never change everything about themselves to become who they actually want to become. It's not about just going to the gym for 6 months and not talking to anybody. It's about evolving and becoming a better version of yourself. If we define locking in, it's to become a better version of yourself in the physical, mental, and spiritual realms. Right? We have that straight. But most people just choose one, or they try to do all three and they try to do everything at once and they fall through. It's hard. It's not easy to become somebody different, but people don't realize that it doesn't happen overnight. And when they do realize that it doesn't happen overnight, they realize how hard it is, because it takes a lot of little steps, not a couple huge steps, a lot of little steps. And the way I learned this, it was the hard way. And I think there's no other way to do it. I've tried changing myself so many times of becoming the best version of myself, and I've fallen through every single time. And I'm still falling through every now and then, but I'm striving to be better. That's just part of the process. The reason why I failed every single time was because I wasn't fully committed to becoming that one person that does all of the things that I listed on my paper of who would be the perfect Sergio. And that's what it takes. You write down what you think the best version of yourself does and how they live, and you follow that as a guideline, because sooner than later, you're going to be formed into that person. You're going to morph into that person, because every action that you take is a step closer to that. And every action that you take against it is just taking you farther away from the dream and farther away from what you want to become. And I know a lot of people want to change their life, and all they do is they completely revamp their schedule. They wake up at 5 in the morning, they go for a run, they do this, they do that, they eat healthy, they work out. They don't last. After 2 weeks, it's gone. Where's the motivation? What happened? Oh, not locked in anymore? It's not about the numbers. It's not about how many days in a row you did something. It's about how many times you've fallen through, but then picked it up for the next day. That's what actually matters. That's how you actually build the habit. I've built the habit of taking cold showers, the coldest setting, every single time. And it's just part of my identity now. I just take cold showers. It's kind of weird to think about it, because I remember I used to not like cold showers at all. I used to love to melt behind them shower curtains. Melt. I love it. But then I decided to make a change, because it's been multiple things. Obviously, better for your skin, blah, blah, blah. You get all about cold showers. But it was really hard for me. And the best way that I did it was by little steps. And whenever I fell through, I just picked it up on the day after, because it's about picking it up. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the number that you can brag to somebody. Oh, well, I did this for 374 days. What did you do? It doesn't matter. This is to keep with yourself. If you can come back to it, that's what matters. And most people take up such a big load. They take up so many things that they want to do. And then when they drop it all, they're like, oh, well, it doesn't work for me. I'm just not that person. I'm not that guy. Well, if you took brick by brick and just built your castle brick by brick every single day, after a certain point, you would be the person with the castle, not the person dreaming of the castle. Does that make sense? Never did I say it was easy. It's not. And thinking that, oh, I just need to, but it's simple, but it's not easy. If you're not willing to sacrifice, the only way you will get to become the person that you want is if you sacrifice who you are right now. And there's no better way to do it than gradually and step by step. It's not about turning your whole life around in one day. The best thing you can do to turn this around is to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with who you are. You have to be honest with your situation. What are you good at? What are you bad at? What do you avoid? What is the work that you're avoiding the most? What is something that you're too harsh on yourself with? What is something that you're too soft with? What is something where you're cutting yourself too much slack? You have to be honest with yourself, because lying to yourself will mess everything up, not only for your mental health, but also for the people around you, for your whole environment. You will mess everything up with that. Trust me, because that's what I did. I lied to myself way too much, and I ended up in a way worse place than I thought I would be. So just trust me. Don't do that. You have to be honest with yourself. Now let's circle back. How do you actually lock in? Brick by brick, every single step counts. Every action you take is what's gonna shape your life going forward. Every action you take matters. Time doesn't stop. There's no such thing as a meaningless or worthless action because it's either a plus or a minus. And I'm not saying lose your mind over every single action that you do. Of course, you're never gonna have all pluses or all minuses, hopefully. But it just has to be a balance. And as long as you're keeping more pluses than you are minuses, you're on a good track. That's what matters. So just be conscious of that. Stop existing, as I said in my last video. Stop existing, live. Keep your eyes on the prize. Just keep going. But also enjoy the process. Enjoy the building. Enjoy the bittersweetness. Enjoy the bittersweetness. Sweetness, it's a hard word. Bittersweetness of the process of becoming uncomfortable, of losing a bit of sleep, or getting into that fucking cold shower. I get into it every single time. Right before I get into it, I'm staring at that water. And it's not gonna get any warmer, but I'm still standing there, losing my sanity because I know it's gonna be so fucking uncomfortable every single time. Even if I mess everything through, at least I took a cold shower. And then after you have that settled, I take cold showers now. You add something else to it. It could be right after. Atomic Habits has that cool thing where you stack them together. You keep going. Don't stop. Things are only gonna get better. Even when everything seems uncertain, you got this. That's the message I have for today. A lot of changes coming this December. Very exciting month. I'm gonna try to keep this Friday streak going. If it's not Friday, it's Friday night. I'm gonna try to get weekly videos like this out. Just dropping a bit of wisdom because it's a net positive for everybody. I like to yap and some people need to listen to this. So, if you enjoy this, subscribe, drop a comment, the usual. Follow me on other socials, and if you have anything that you would want me to talk about, drop it down below. It's all peace and love. Editing a bunch more videos. Sorry for the delays coming. Thank you guys. Enjoy your night.